As we all know, the Division team announced the new expansion coming to Division 2 sometime in 2025, Battle for Brooklyn. Obviously, the overall feeling for the game is at an interesting spot, but today I'm going to give my answer to the question: should you be excited for the Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn expansion? In short, my answer is yes, you should be, and here is why. My first reason is new content. It's been a while since we've had newer content. I believe the last time we got was Descent as like quote unquote new content. It might have been the Incursion. I might be wrong on that, but it's one of those two. But I believe this is going to be the first time we return to Brooklyn, and that means this all should be a new playable area. Besides the very first mission in the division, that could be part of the playable area. But overall, we're gonna have probably a bigger area than the first mission. So but with a new playable area means that there's new areas to explore, new story, lore opportunities, and maybe some newer factions. We all know about Keener and his settlement over there in Brooklyn too, so we'll probably have that settlement to go to, or that could be a settlement we're up against. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with the story. Obviously, I think the Black Tusk is going to be involved because they have had a presence in Brooklyn before, and they obviously still have a presence in New York. So we definitely will be finding the Black Tusk still. One thing that we can be certain on are new exotics, and I'm not talking about the ones we get every season, like the one gun and the one armor, sometimes two armor, sometimes two guns. I'm talking about we will probably get a good amount of new exotics, or we could maybe see some returning ones. We've gotten a couple returned exotics from Division One, and I know there's some fan favorites out there, like the House, that I've seen players ask about. So you never knew. Or never know. He could get some returning exotics, but regardless, new exotics will always be a plus in my book, as they can create entirely new play styles and gameplay loops on their own that can create new content for you to play. You can go back and play through older content, newer content, um, in a new way, in a new play style. So I always think new exotics are always a plus. Woni was one of my favorite moments because the amount of exotics that there were, it felt like there was an endless amount of gameplay that you had. So very excited for that. We obviously don't know what else could be coming with the expansion because they are labeling it as an expansion and not a DLC. So it will not be the size of Woni, unfortunately. But new stuff is new stuff, and this game is in dire need of new stuff to play. To be completely honest, because like we have all been playing the same modes for a couple years now, so new stuff is new stuff. My second reason why you should be excited for this upcoming expansion is the fact that it's setting up the future of the franchise. Obviously, they've announced that the third game is in the works, and I mean, I don't know. The situation with Ubisoft is unclear, but it's very obvious that there is a fan base for this game. So who knows what could happen with the division, what with whatever happens with Ubisoft. But the third game is planned and is in the works, which realistically means that this expansion should help set up the story that is going to lead into the Division 3. Now, obviously, we're probably going to be getting seasons after the expansion. I don't think it's going to be expansion and then new game. There's probably going to be like a couple seasons in between because I'm pretty sure the game like just started development after they launched that Star Wars game under Ubisoft. So it like just started. It's gonna be a couple years. So we'll probably have a good amount of time before the third game comes out. But everything that happens from this point on with the expansion is going to be setting up for the new game. Um, and this is mainly story wise. This is mainly lore wise. So if you do not care about story and lore, this point is not going to really uh, apply to you. But if you're a big lore guy, a big story guy like I am, I love the lore and I love the story of this game. And this point is really important because we don't know what's going to happen. Are the Black Tusk going to be the main enemies in the Division 3? Is Natalia going to be finally dealt with, or are we going to deal with her before the Division 3? If we do deal with her in the Black Tusk, is it going to be Calvin McManus who's going to be the main villain in the third game? Are we going to act? Are we going to actually deal with him in this game? Is there going to be a completely new enemy faction? Like, there's so many opportunities for where this can go. Obviously, there are the other factions that have been said in the lore, where I'm talking about the roamers in the north. We're also talking about the vultures from Heartland. So there are enemy factions out there, but are any of them big enough to cause for a third game? And I honestly think it's going to be Calvin McManus. Um, but it would be cool to see a different faction at this point because Black Tusk have been the main villain faction for a very long time, and it's just it's time for something a little new. And finally, my third point on why you should be excited is that the player base with the expansion is going to be larger than it is now. Right? It's going to bring back older players and it's going to bring in newer ones. People are going to see that there's a new expansion for the game. I mean, like here, I'll pull up some stats here. So, Woni's first trailer that came out, it ended with around 300,000 views on YouTube. Not a crazy amount for a trailer for a AAA title game. However, the game's current player count on Steam, the day that I typed the script, by the way, was the 21st of February. So on that day, it was sitting at under 2,000 players on Steam. That's not including Ubisoft Connect. I mean, I even play on Ubisoft Connect, and that's not including consoles. However, if at least a part of 300,000 people that watched the Woni trailer that came out play it, and I mean like a very small amount, that's still going to be a lot more players than we currently have now. And that is always a good thing. An influx of players will always be a good thing. More people playing the game, more people to do activities with. I mean, there might be even people who really enjoy the content of the expansion, and now we have lifelong more division players. We might have people that want to go out and do the old content, more people for raids, incursions, all that kind of stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of your opinion of the game, more players will always be good for the division. And hopefully the expansion will help with that just a teeny tiny bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe even the trailers will start to get people hyped for the game and get them back on the game, getting their gear up and ready for the expansion. You never know. So those are my 3 points on why you should be excited for the Battle for Brooklyn expansion coming to the Division 2. My name has been Strange. I plan on making more videos like this, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace.